Hi, everybody. I'm John Curtis Pender, EXMGTOO from IronX.com. Hold on a second. Hey, Chase, 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 close that door and be quiet. Sorry about that. I got an 8-year-old running around back there in the back. Anyway, I'm EXMGTOO from IronX.com, premier site on the web for training, nutrition, supplementation, and conditioning. If you got questions, we probably got answers. With that being said, let me do this. IronX way of change. Wes is as best as has posted this from over the years. Ed was good enough to put this together. The link's at the bottom of the page down there. It's also available in an ebook. IronX Principle of Fat Loss. This guy is on our board. I hadn't seen him post in a while, but he's one of our members. If you want to have like that, buy the book. Do what Wes said to do. Hire me. Do both. And also, I'm available for online training. No, it's not free, but it's very reasonable. It costs you about $1 a day. And the link's at the bottom of the page down there, John Pender's training services. With that being said, we've only got a couple guys here, so we'll get some good questions and stuff in, get chit chat. Y'all welcome Lee Cletovus Van Dam. He's one of the guys I trained. This is his first time on the show, so you guys welcome him. David's on here fresh off his car wreck. I think that's the right day. Is that you, David? He's a car wreck victim. Anyway, and what you guys got going on? Yeah, Brandon, you know I was talking about. You asked me the perils of not drinking and driving, or not. Anyway, Brandon, I know you said you saw. Well, you probably need a break anyway. You practice perfect posture while you were working on your whiplash, so. Brandon, I know you made a note in my journal. I figured out I had done singles 8 sessions in a row on deadlifts, and yeah, it's not a good thing. I didn't, including the meet and the 2 previous sessions before the meet, and then 5 sumo sessions after the meet. I realized I couldn't hit 645, got about a high off the floor, and then I dropped down to 605 to hit some reps and couldn't even pull it for 1. So I knew at that point it was time to quit pulling singles and get back. I'll probably do some speed work this Saturday. So had a pretty good leg sessions yesterday. I'm going to go and do some an upper body session with Donnie today. So our Honey Badger workout partner. And with that being said, you guys, hope you got your green tea handy. It's not beer, it's green tea. I ain't even looked at you guys. I ain't looked at your training journal, Brandon. I didn't know what you've been doing lately, man. I know you guys got the 600 race on for deadlift, so that's good. I think Matt's going to try and pull it today, though. Leon, what's up, buddy? Hmm. Guys got going on? I don't have a topic again. There's no need in even having a topic when you got, we've been having about 10 or 12 guys in the 2 p.m. show, so hopefully it'll pick up a little bit as the show goes on. But you guys got any training questions or anything I can help you with, or anything with the board you want to talk about, or anything? Everything seems to be going really smooth with the board. A little bit I've been posting over there. And the new mods we got in place are doing a great job keeping everything cleaned up. Switching back to 5x5 routine, I've been doing singles for a while, and your post got me thinking. Yeah, they'll beat you up. I mean, I knew better, but I just I wasn't thinking, and just was going in there, and I was gonna see how far I could go since I started back pulling sumo, and I got 625 for a bunch of singles last week, and then failed miserably this past week. But I could tell my back was getting a little fatigued. Even during the week, it just seemed like it wasn't recovering. So. Yeah, even though 625 isn't that heavy, just fact I did several singles with it, and been killing that reverse hyper too. That thing wears my back out pretty bad. Been doing it once or twice a week for the last several weeks, and it'll beat you down too. If you get an opportunity to use a reverse hyper, by all means, please use it. But I didn't use it yesterday on my legs, so I'll be fresh for Saturday. Probably just do some speed work Saturday on my deadlifts. 5x5 works. Yeah, if I go to it's got stuff on it, just rake it off. Tell them to go hang it on the power rack or something, on the squat rack, because they don't use that either. But I'm guilty stacking stuff on the reverse hyper too. We had 2 of them at my old gym. Uh, Things work though, man. The heat. The one we got at our gym, the CrossFit guy that came in with a bunch of equipment and stuff, he brought it in. It's a little bit lighter weight one. Actually, it's the lightest weight one I've seen. It rocks around a little bit when you're doing it, but it gets the job done. It'll smoke your back. guys got going. And congratulations, Leon, on getting your physique verification. Good job. Very good job on that. You look great, man. I saw the pictures you posted up. I don't know if they were Intense Muscle or Iron Axe, but you had posted several pictures up, or I think it was in your training log at Iron Axe. You look really good, man. Yeah. You and Charlie both deserve it, man. Now we're gonna get you on strength verified next, and you'll be good to go. Getting there. What kind of numbers you hitting, Leon? I don't even. I didn't. Even, I see you're doing like a full body workout. I think in that you didn't I make a note in your log. You're doing the full body stuff. Uh, yeah, you could probably throw in a couple hundred calories, Lee. It depends on how you feel, man. I mean, if you start leaning out and you start suffering in the gym, you can definitely up your calories or something. That's something we'll talk about on Skype over the weekend or something. But yeah, it depends on, it just depends on how your body responds to it. Some guys don't need any extra calories from doing their manual labor. Actually, it's kind of like conditioning work. So Leon, how long you been doing the full body stuff? I check your journal every once in a while, but have you recently started that? I've been in full body stuff for a couple of years. Well, well, here's the deal. I got a decent deadlift, and there's only two things you need for a decent deadlift. That's a strong back and a weak mind, and I'm qualified. So, have you really been doing full body for 2 years, man? And now I feel like a bigger retard than I really am. I've looked in your journal for a while. Just for some reason, I noticed it the other day. So, oh well. Is there a reason why you do full body as opposed to doing the splits and stuff? Well, at least I saw it. And I've actually looked in your journal before and stuff too. That's really weird. I remember you were doing trap bar deadlifts for a while. I think I made a comment about that, several months ago. Brandon, you have not been doing full body, really? So I ain't hardly looking at anybody. Some of the guys I train, I'll peek in their journals, when I get a chance. I've just been so busy. I mean, on Skype a lot and writing routines, and I've just been really busy with the clients I have. And I signed up a lot of new guys, so they require a lot of time, particularly the first few weeks they're with me. Getting them set up and getting the videos and everything. Okay, okay, I got you. Yeah, I like full bodies. I like full bodies. Is there a reason why you do that as opposed to a split? Hi guys, we're back for part two of the show. I'm John Curtis Pender, EXMGTOO from IronAxe.com. That's the best site on the web, I believe. I've been on a lot of them, and there may be some as good. I don't think there's any better. So I think we got everything you need over at IronAxe.com. We got about 34,000 members now. Of course, we typically have about 1,500 unique logins per day, which means we got about that many different people logging in. These are people that are registered, doesn't include the guests and stuff. So the board's doing really well. I look around a lot of the boards and stuff, and their numbers are down this time of year, and ours are consistently, our numbers are staying about the same or a little bit higher than a lot of the other boards with more members too. So that being said, let me get back up and read a couple of these questions. I'll run my giblets as usual. Let's see. Uh, For example, like 400 gram every fourth day and low, medium the rest. I mean, you can manipulate your carbs, David. And I've actually got another diet that I use on myself too when I get stuck, if I'm trying to lean out. Um, I have one day where I'll do no carbs. Say I might take in 2,200 calories, almost trace amount of carbs. Then the next day I'll take in 2,200 calories with almost no fat, just carbs and protein. And then I have the next day I'll do a low calorie day, like 1,000 calories with 40, 20, 40. And that usually when I'll do that a few times in a row, and that usually it'll lean me out. I don't know why it works. I did it by accident, and it works. So it works for me. And I've had a couple of other clients try that, and it worked for them too when they got stalled out on their weight loss and stuff. John, for my 6:05 attempt tomorrow, what angle would you best for you to kind of critique my form? Um, like about 45 degrees off from the front, so that way I can kind of get the best of both worlds, kind of like a side view and a front view. You look at some of the videos I got posted. I try, well, I can't do them when I'm pulling that inside that squat rack over there at the gym, but yeah, about 45 degrees off. That works best. Um, Leon, I would have to agree with the body fat percentage. The challenge now is to make some lean gains without putting the body fat back on you. You can do it. You can definitely do it. I don't be honest with you, I don't know if a full body workouts is optimal for what you're looking to do. It had been my experience. Those typically your full body workouts are more like a conditioning workout. Don't get me wrong, you'll get some strength and size gains off of them, but I think you'll do better off a split, particularly if it's based around, whatever body parts that you really want to bring up. If you'll pound those, I mean, not being critical of your physique or anything, but I think your legs probably need to bring your legs up a little bit. I don't know. You didn't show them much in your pictures. I saw one of them. It looked like your legs were slightly behind your upper body. Of course, it could have just been the angle and stuff. I'm not being critical or anything, but I would really focus on your lower body and start pounding it a couple times a week with like a 4-day split or something like that, 2 uppers and 2 lowers, and I think you'll reap some really good benefits off doing a program like that. And that extended version, I can't remember if it's 3 or 4 days, but even if it's only 3, you can make it a 4-day routine, no problem at all. Uh, Sounds like a cool plan. Body weight can fluctuate by 2 pounds per day anyway, but I guess in the long run it works out. Yeah, yeah, David, just gotta be patient, man. Look, trust me. Nobody, your body, and I don't know how long it's been since you were really lean. If you've ever been really lean, I don't know. But for guys that are just getting into get ripped and stuff, the first couple times you do it are the hardest times. Once you do it a couple times after that, it's not a problem. And Matt can tell you that, and Leon's getting there. I mean, some of the guys that have been around for a while, you'll see it. Hey, Tristan, what's up, buddy? Uh, yeah, I mean, if you need some help, Leon, I'll be glad to help you, man. I tell you what, the leg workout I did yesterday absolutely smoked my legs. Look at my log yesterday. The combination of leg presses, one arm swings, and leg extensions. My quads were I couldn't even hardly walk. Now those were all done with pretty heavy weights and stuff, or heavy for me anyway. So that just absolutely. And Donnie, my workout partner, I pushed him and he fell down. I mean, he just those will smoke your legs, and that's when they start growing. You get them exercise workouts that you can't walk out of the gym, you smoked them. Oh. 35 carbs by calorie, 30, yeah, by calorie. So, basically if I took in, 2,100 calories, it'd be about 300 carbs or whatever, or 700 calories, yeah. So whatever that works out to, divide it by 4. Yeah, yeah. Everything on me is behind. I am late, taught, he party, but willing to do work and learn. All right. Whatever the fuck that means. Excuse my French. uh, no, B, you just need better lighting. There you go. That is true. My legs are finally starting to grow a little bit. Pants have gotten tighter. Hey, Tristan, what's up, buddy? My quads are growing now that I am squatting again. Yeah, yeah, I know. Sometimes I got a potty mouth. It'll all work out in the long run, though. Uh, yeah, I'll be honest with you though. For some of my guys that are looking to put on strictly size and stuff, I've got several clients that don't even have squatting. I mean, because you don't have to squat to grow some big wheels. They do help. I mean, it's one of the better movements for it. But as far as isolating just the legs, I think a leg press is a better exercise, or a hack squat, where you don't have to worry about your balance and you don't end up good morning in the weight and stuff like that. Because I've seen a lot of guys squat and they transfer the weight. It becomes like a full body movement, which it is anyway. But I really think you can isolate the legs better with leg presses or hack squats. And you followed up some leg extensions or some split squats or something like that, I guarantee your legs are going to grow. Guaranteed. And like I said, I've got over 100 clients now, and I probably got 20 of them that don't even squat. They're just doing leg presses or different movements like that for various reasons. But most of the guys are in it for strictly the looks and stuff or the size and the legs. You don't have to squat. I think it's Marcus Rule, one of those big ass German bodybuilders. He doesn't do squats. He does heavy leg presses and stuff. They work, man. They work. 'Cause you don't have to worry about balancing the weight and falling over and getting crushed and all that stuff. My left quad is at least 1 inch bigger than my right, visually visually visible. Not pretty. Well, you definitely need to be doing some split squats, Leon, and you can bring that in balance. If I got 3 or 4 of my clients that got one quad's bigger than the other, and I've got Mark, one of the guys that trained is one of the mods on the board, Cram. He's the same way. He had some type of injury and one of his legs is bigger than the other. So he's been doing split squats for a while, or lunges. It works, man. Any guys that got imbalances, you need to be doing some dumbbell work or some unilateral movements and stuff to bring that up. Usually if you work on it for about a year, make that like your main movement or something, you can bring them up an even amount. I like higher reps for size. Nothing compares to me. You can isolate. Yeah, yeah. I'm a huge fan of 20 reppers for you guys looking to put on size. You know that the guys that train under me, you know I love throwing some 20 reppers in there. And even for leg presses, I've got a lot of guys are doing 20 reppers. It just builds size, man. It ain't gonna make, and you get some decent strength gains, but it's more for size. But they work, and you don't have to do a whole lot of weight either. You can rest pause those if you need to. Dave said, "I'm glad I just switched to just split squatting. Squatting didn't allow me to keep going up from my back." Yes, there's another one. David had a little kyphosis and lordosis going. So squatting ain't always the best movement for guys with those type of conditions and stuff. So the split squats is much safer and probably a better idea. So. Tristan said, "Have I ever used a vertical leg press?" Yes, I have, and I hate it because it felt like my head was going to explode. All the blood rushed to my head, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. It doesn't take as much weight, but I still didn't like it. So. Have you been using one, Tristan? I know you went and trained at a public gym the other day, and you were not impressed. Hmm. Must have got my truck back like every day for the last week and a half. It's getting painted. Them guys have had almost 3 weeks now. I don't know what they're doing over there. Bunch of potheads, I think. And I just had a guy call while I go and put some 20s on that bad boy, and I'm looking around for a motor to put in it. I'm gonna wake that old truck up. Like 50 dumbbells while I use 105s. Yeah. No, they only had the horizontal one. Yeah. Yeah, the vertical one, I didn't care for it because, like I said, you lay there and all the blood rushes to your head. Head's already sore enough as it is. Uh, Everybody working out today? Thursday. Everybody should be working out today, unless you're doing a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Beaching it. They got beaches in Brooklyn. Matt, that's true, man. Weight loss doesn't really affect deads that much. It's people don't believe it. There's so much technique. The biggest thing about the weight for squats is it changes your center of gravity, and for benches it adds distance to the stroke too. But deadlifts, that's why I'm such a huge fan of deadlifts, man. Those things work regardless of what your body fat is. Actually, the leaner you are, they actually can help you by in your deadlifts. Sure can. Yeah, weight loss kills my bench. Yep, everything kills my bench. Especially this shoulder right here, man. That thing's been killing me lately. It's getting a little bit better. Those heavy rope circuits we've been doing have made a difference along with the rotator work. And get my chiropractor working. I got bursitis in there and all kinds of crap going. I got the gamut of stuff going on that shoulder. I did some flat bench. One of my clients was in town a couple of weeks ago, and he came by and did a little bit of flat bench on him. I think hit 315 for some reps, and my shoulder was screaming at me, screaming at me. So no more of that. I think this next meet I'm doing, I'm not even gonna bench press except at the meet. Then we'll do a bunch of machines and see what happens. That 405 pause is badass too. And I saw where Nate hit the four or five paws for a double. Pretty impressive. Been rotating regular deads, trap bar deads, and rack deads, making steady gains. That's a good combination, Leon. For guys just want to put on some size and stuff. The rack deads work really well for your glutes and your hamstrings because you can go heavier on them. So it's a little bit safer range of motion too. So I've got a lot of my guys that are just in it for the fitness look or trying to put on some size, doing more rack deads than off the floor deads, or like Leon's doing a combination of them. I'm not a huge fan of trap bar deads, but it's a full body movement. So yeah, that's a good combination though. Uh, I had McDonald's for breakfast and benching was real easy today. Ronald McDonald will put weight on your bench. Does a shoulder wide grip still bother your shoulder? Yep. Well, anything to do with like a regular flat bench, if I tuck my elbows in it all, it just kills my shoulder. If I do a guillotine, it doesn't bother as bad. Because on Matt's suggestion, I did some slight incline, just a 30-degree incline bench press with a narrow grip. It didn't bother me too bad as long as I kept my elbows out, kind of bench with my elbows out instead of tucking them in. Might do that today too, but it didn't bother me as bad. Feel better for doing deads for singles and low reps in general. Yeah. I mean, deadlifts work. You can do 20 reppers, you can do singles, doubles. Just mix it up from time to time. But they work. I mean, deadlifts are by far the best lift out there for changing physiques. I say it just about every show that I do. I mean, if you want to change your physique, deadlift every week. I mean, if you want to take a week off here and there, that's fine. But deadlifts needs to be, all my routines are centered around the deadlift for you guys that don't know it yet. Because I try and get all my guys' deadlifts up. If your deadlift is moving, all your other lifts are going to move as well, and your physique is going to change. Because the deadlift hits like 85% of your muscle groups. That's why I'm such a huge fan of it. And I'm not a huge fan of it just because I got a decent deadlift. I'm a huge fan of it because of what it does to the human body. And it's just good, functional, everyday strength. It's healthy. It's a safe movement. It's a lot safer than squats and bench presses. I mean, I've seen some guys get seriously injured doing those movements. Squats is by far the most dangerous of the movements. Just a lot of things can go wrong when you're squatting. So. All right. Seems I lose my form and get hurt when I go high reps on dead. Yeah, everybody has your fatigue out. I mean, we used to do some 20 reppers from time to time. I know Hunter, he's got that video of him doing 525 for 19. He lost counts on where he stopped, but he never even slowed down. That's just one of the craziest videos I've seen. 525 for 19. I had 455 for 21 time sumo stance, and I just went home after that. I was toast. Yeah, I wasn't worth anything to anybody. Why do I feel squats most dangerous? Well, think about it, Brandon. First of all, the weight's on your back, so if you get in trouble, especially if you're squatting by yourself, I mean, you got to get the weight off of you. You can get folded forward. I mean, you can hurt your lower back. You can blow a knee out. I mean, to me, it just puts you in the most precarious position of the three lifts because the weight's on your back. With deadlifts, it's right in front of you. You get in trouble, you just drop the weight. You can't just drop the weight when you're squatting a lot of time. Bench pressing, I mean, if you get in trouble on the bench press, if you don't have good spotters, it can happen. I mean, there's a lot of things can happen on bench press too. And plus, the shoulders are such a small group of muscles, and that joint there, and you get to putting 300 and 400 pounds on this compared to your hips, 300 and 400 pounds. You see the difference in size of the joints. So I think more people probably get hurt on the squat and bench than they do on deadlift. Sometimes I see a guy tweak their back or pull a hamstring pulling deads, but you can do the same thing on squats. Well, to me, and you go to powerlifting meets, and I put on some meets, and I'm a certified judge too. Everybody's always glad when the squats are over, because if people are going to get hurt, it's typically on the squats at a meet. You'll see knees blown out. You'll see all kinds of crazy stuff happen. So that's by far powerlifting meets the most dangerous of the three lifts. So. And Brandon, the more meets you do, you'll see what I'm talking about. And you see a lot of injuries, knee injuries and stuff. I know Kyle, my old training partner, blew his ACL, PCL, and MCL all at the same time squatting. Um, I've seen well, the last meet, the SPF meet, that Tony Baloney, that guy trains at Westside, blew his knee out squatting. So, and that's the only guy that got injured that day. It happened. Of course, he had 1,100 pounds on the bar, but still, that's a lot of weight, man. If you guys hadn't felt 900,000 pounds on your back, just just popping it up out of the monolift is an experience in itself. I mean, you just like you're just teetering, because the only thing holding you up is your calves, really keeping you from going frontwards or backwards. So it's a whole different ball game. I didn't I did because it meant that bench was next. Sit back. That's right. Sit back. Sitting back's a lot easier when you got on gear too. If you're squatting raw and you're sitting back, it's especially with a wide stance. It's always messed my groin up. That's why I squat shoulder width when I was squatting. Uh, guys got. Mm-hmm. Matt, you pulling 605 tomorrow? Good deal, man. 6 plates and a 10 on each side. I like it. You get it. Like I said before, man. Just we talked about it in the PM or whatever. You just got to relax, man. I've seen too many guys go in the gym and miss PRs in the gym or at a meet or whatever because they just get too excited. No, the hundreds. I hear you, baby. I used the hundreds last when I was pulling last Saturday. I got you. I got you. Um, but I've seen too many people they just get in the gym or whatever and they're going for a PR and they just get excited and they lose their form and stuff and just get in a big hurry. You should treat your 605 just like you do your 135, 225, 315, 405, 495, 5. Your warm ups. Just treat them like warm ups, man, and don't get involved. That's what happened to me at the meet when I missed 700. When I went over to pull, I had too much garbage running through my head. I was thinking, wow, I shouldn't have went 675. I should have went straight 700. I mean, that was a little bit heavy, fatiguing me out. I got it right. So I didn't sit back enough on my 675. I mean, I just had too much stuff going through my head instead of just going up there, grabbing the bar, sitting down, and standing up with it. Which is, I mean, the only thing I think about is using my legs off the floor and pushing my hips forward against my knees. That's all that's in my head when I'm deadlifting. But I had some other stuff going through my head when I tried that 700, and it just got away from me and got out in front of me, and I just dropped the bar. I'm not going to risk hurting my back over. I've had my day in the sun. So, uh, yeah, Matt, just be calm, man. Just get up there, stiff leg down, grab the bar, and sit back and stand up with it. I mean, just keep it that simple, and just have a good tempo. If you want to be excited and have some fire burning inside, let it be inside of you. But save it for your lift. Don't get all hyped up and run up there and get out of shape and stuff. I mean, there's not a lot of lifters. I mean, Benedict's one of the few guys that gets away with that. But you look at most of your top deadlifters, like the big Russian guy and Andy Bolton. Of course, Andy's got a weird little thing he does where he pulls too. But he's still for the most part, he's calm. Ed Cohn, when he just stepped there, it like he was getting ready to sit down at the Sunday dinner table and when he all his lifts. And I talked to him about it one time back in '02. And I just asked him what goes through your mind when you're deadlifting and hitting your lifts. So he said he said, John, just stay calm. He said, I got it burning on the inside, but I just try and save that for the bar. And I've seen guys like Scott Mendelson, his wife slaps the crap out of him before he benches and stuff. And she's a black belt in karate too. So, but that's just not how I want to approach things. I mean, I try and stay relaxed and focused when I'm lifting. I want to make sure if I miss a lift, it's not because my form went to pieces. You know what I mean? There's nothing worse than missing a lift you should have got because your form fell apart. That oftentimes comes from just not being prepared. You didn't prepare in training to lift for those heavy singles, and whatever you're doing, you're training, getting ready for PRs or meets or whatever is what you're going to do in the meet most of the time. Just stay relaxed, man. It's the biggest thing I can tell you. Randall Jason, what's up, buddy? It does turn me on. Hey, let me start the show again. We just ran out of time. Uno momento, la mujer. Pender's Training Services is right down there somewhere on the screen out in my lap. So anyway, that being said, getting back to the questions. Uh, Greetings, folks. Jason, eating some sauerkraut. You can't just eat a normal snack, can you, Jason? It's always got to be sauerkraut or, of course, I got to say, one of my favorite snacks used to be take Doritos chips and dip them in banana pudding back in the day. So, Jason gonna pull 605 tomorrow. Do it. Dang, you try to relax before a big pull. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I try to get my energies through the roof, and if I can't, I'm bummed out about it. No, well, Brandon, just try it, man. Seriously, I used to get all sideways before I'd pull. I'd be like, run up there and dive on the bench and stuff. But Nah, man, I just found out I just did better when I tried to stay relaxed and focus on. Don't worry about what's on the bar. Just focus on my form. You know, if you're pulling dead, just squat it up and lock your hips out. That's all you need to think about. If you're benching, just keep those elbows tucked, control it down, and be explosive off the chest with it. You know, make sure you use leg drive and you bump it up with your torso coming off your chest and throw it back towards the rack. I mean, just a few basic things. That's what you should be thinking about. I mean, it worked. It worked well for me, and a lot of your top lifters, if you'll talk to them, they'll tell you, look, hitting a deadlift or a big bench is just like hitting a home run. If you got that follow through and your form's perfect on everything, you get your core into it, the ball's going, and you're going to smoke it. And when you hit those home runs, you don't even feel the ball hit the bat. It's the same way when you hit a big lift. I mean, you'll hit some lift. When I pulled that 804, it went up like nothing. I mean, it was the smoothest pull I've ever pulled, and it just was everything clicked perfect on it. I mean, it's just one of those lifts where I just hit everything just right. May never emulate it again, but I got an 804 under my belt. So this is one of them days where I just everything was smooth. And I tried 826 on my next pull and didn't get it off the floor. But at that point, I was already happy about the 804. That was a goal of mine to pull 800 pounds. So it's 365 kilos, and I got it. And no one can ever take that away from me. If I never do it again, I can say and I got a bunch of witnesses too. So anyway. All right. Brandon, don't worry about getting all excited, buddy. I hope that made some sense. A little bit. Poquito. Uh, Jason, what's been going on with you, brother? You still bored with your routine? He's working like a normal person now. Okay. Like my job? I prefer to visualize successful maximal lifts before the attempt. Lifting like a normal person, I meant, oh yeah. Well, I don't even know what a normal person lifts like. I don't. Normal people don't lift. They don't bench or squat or deadlift. Or they bench and do curls. That's what normal people do. About 4 times a week. They wear their wife beaters and their long pants. Uh, don't have beards. And they got their gloves on. I started conjugated periodization. You type that while you're eating sauerkraut? The fact you can spell sauerkraut blows me away. Jason, my boy, you are a trip, son. Oh my God. Conjugated periodization. Yeah. I tried West Side one time too. I don't even. What, all right, then. Well, I'm happy for you that you were born in Kentucky. That's nice. And they live in Tennessee. I would love to see some more vids, Jason. I hadn't slept since you sent me the last one, just in anticipation of receiving the next batch of vids. Pause floor press. There you go. Yeah, I have to see in your video. That's definitely not, you need to be doing them. That was your weak spot in your lift. You still got it, but if you throw this pause floor press in there for about 4, 6, 8 weeks, you'll see a big difference, and your sticking point will move around on you like that. You'll enjoy them. Get you a big old pause too, man. Oh man. I'm going to buy some chains on Saturday. Good for you, man. Yeah, I like chains. We use a lot of them. I actually prefer chains over bands, but we use a lot of them. I like bands for just general like pull aparts and face pulls and stuff like that. As far as benching, squatting, and deadlifting, I preferred chains, especially for squatting. The thing about squatting with bands is it locks you in a position. If you're used to squatting with bands and all of a sudden you take the bands off, pop the weight up at the monolith, you feel like you're gonna fall forwards or backwards. It messes with your balance, and the chains do exactly the opposite. When you go from squatting with chains back to regular weight, you feel like a stud at the top, man. Tractor Supply is where I bought my chains at. I don't think I spent about $100 for. I don't know how many chains I got, but it had about 150 pounds or something. I think we had the half-inch or 5-inch chains, and I had them cut them with a torch for me in 8-foot lengths while I was there. I don't remember how much I bought, but it's about $100. I think by the time I bought all the little rings and all the little clamps and everything, we had about, I might have had 130, $40 in 150, 165 pounds what we had all together. No, I think we already had a couple chains. So I may have bought like 140, 150 pounds, something like that. Well, Tristan, you're welcome to move over here, brother. That's why we left there to start with, because England sucks. uh, Look, John Caesar went making their sauerkraut sandwich. Tristan, I don't know why. I know meat's cheaper than protein powder over here. I was just talking to one of my new guys. He just started with me today, and he lives in Ireland, and he's like you guys. Chicken, everything's just sky high over there, man. I mean, I can get boneless, skinless chicken breasts here for $1.88 a pound at Walmart. Or even my butcher shop's got the organic stuff for $2 a pound if I buy like 20 pounds at a time. Crazy what y'all pay for meat. And it's the same way up in Canada too. They get robbed up there. So I don't know. Not do I know, my friend. I guess it's the mad cow disease. Well, protein powder is inexpensive. It's pretty crazy. Food's cheaper than protein powder is, gram for gram of protein. That is. I did a cost analysis on it one time, and it came up cheaper to eat meat than it did to do protein shakes. Plus, protein shakes make me. I don't like them. They bloat me and make me. I don't know. I ain't hungry for like 4 or 5 hours after I drink, which is not good. And my boy Tristan, I believe the meat's back on again, if I'm correct, which is a good thing. Glad for you, man. Good deal, man. Good deal. I'm glad. That's why I told you just keep on doing what you're doing just in case something changed. You never know. Yeah. That wasn't technically projectile. That was more like a leak out. Now Adam, one of my old workout partners, he had projectile. We were squatting one day, and he had apple spice, cinnamon, oatmeal, and apple juice before he came to the gym. So the aroma was pleasant in there. But he threw up so hard, and that all the vomit went from his mouth and hit the mirror in front of the squat rack, and none of it got on the floor. I mean, even the last drop hit the mirror. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. So we made him clean it up before we continued our workout that day. You will not get vomited. You will not get red lighted for vomit, Tristan. No. uh, yeah, yeah. It was real funny watching your video, Tristan. Everybody knew you were gonna get sick. You kept stopping, and usually you motor right through your workouts, but you were stopping a lot that day and kept messing with your belt. So I said, my boy's about to throw up, and sure enough, you did. That's pretty funny. Well, next you'll be pooping your pants. That's the next thing on the agenda. You'll go from throwing up to pooping your pants to whatever else comes out. That's all I had to say about that. Mm. What else you guys got going on? Oh, yes, I am. I have sharted in my breeches while squatting. I sure have. Thought I was gonna fart, and I sharted. So, oh, it's gonna happen, Tristan. You will shit your pants before it's over with while you're lifting. It's gonna happen, dog. Hopefully, you don't have the camera in the back when you're filming from behind when you do that. Ain't nothing more embarrassing than have to go to the bathroom and throw your underwear in the garbage. Hopefully, you have some home. Yeah, yeah, it happens to everybody. And you'll eventually get a big old hemorrhoid that you may or may not have to get fixed. So you got so much in store for your anus. Hey guys, like a new hairdo here today. Christina's been slack on cutting my hair lately. Just gotta get back on the stick here. What you guys got? We're not telling you. You have to you keep eating that sauerkraut. You're gonna find out what we were talking about, Jason. We're speaking of Tristan is thrown up while lifting. I told him the next thing he's gonna do is gonna poop in his pants. Yeah, there you go. Yep, he's gonna poop in his pants. He's gonna get a hemorrhoid. All that good stuff in store for Amos. Yep. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. That would be terrible. Well, it's like having an intestinal virus or something. You sit on the toilet and throw up in the bathtub, and you have to pat. You can't even wipe because your hemorrhoids are so bad. So there you go. Tristan, welcome to my world, dog. It's gonna happen. How's everybody's training coming along? John, you think part of my shoulder issues could come from being too light to press the weight I'm doing? Could be. I mean, part of the problem is, Matt, you probably, you like a lot of us, you start out lifting at an early age incorrectly, and the damage is already done. So my suggestion to you is just be careful. Just be careful, man. That's why bench pressing is absolutely terrible for the shoulders. And once you jack them up, I mean, you're pretty much stuck with it for life. And just have to work around it best you can. So one good thing, you can always get in a bench shirt, and that'll take the shoulder issues out of it. But or that slingshot, but there again, it's not real benching either. So, mm. Depending on how my other lifts feel, do you think it's possible I can hit a 550 deadlift at this meet? Oh, yeah, I do. I really do. I mean, you pulled a what 506 at your last meet, and you're actually your deadlifts are looking better now than your training for your last meet. You had a little form issue we talked about a few weeks ago at your starting position. You got that ironed out. I saw in your last videos. So your demo deads are looking good. You got your starting position nice and high, which I like for your style of pulling. There's no need to dip way down if you're not going to use that part of your motion. I had another one of my clients, Jason, no Jason, and he was dropping down to a very deep starting position, but his butt was coming up about that high before the bar left the floor. And the problem with that is you end up getting folded over in front of the bar. Your head moves forward when your butt comes up, and then the weight gets away from you. So you guys don't dip down any further than you have to. If the bar's not leaving the floor till you're at a high starting position, then that's where you need to start at instead of dipping your butt down. Because what happens is your butt comes up, it throws you out of position. So find out where your strongest point is getting the bar off the floor, and the way you do this is by videotaping and watching and keep messing around with it, and eventually you'll find your sweet spot for getting the weight off the floor. And it took me several months to figure that out because I was dipping way down and coming up, getting thrown forward over the bar, and just the whole mess. And my stance was too wide, and I was shrugging the weight up, and all kinds of issues going on. When I got stuff ironed out, my deadlift really started moving. I was told the other day that at the gym, and it kind of makes sense. Uh, I am liking the different exercises. Good, good, good. Too light? Something? Probably as always. So I'm talking, I can't read. Oh, too light on the water. Okay, I got you. I was told the other day at the gym, and it kind of makes sense. Yeah, it's possible, Matt. But I've seen some guys smaller than you hit some bigger benches. So just I've seen Jeff McVicker bench 500, and he walked around like 200 pounds. He's a short guy too, but you're kind of like Nate. You guys look very similar. You kind of long and lanky with some extra meat on you. Basically, you just filled out from lifting weights all the years. Both you guys are built very similar, so both you guys percentage-wise got a bigger bench than you do a deadlift. So just keep rolling with it, man. Don't worry about it. Sure, I had read in Kabuki's log a while ago. He said something about getting injured more when he lost a lot of weight. Yeah, that's Tristan. That's one thing we talked about earlier in the show. About being lean. I checked my body fat a couple of weeks ago. It was at 6.88. realistically, I'm not that lean, but according to the calipers and stuff, I am. But I definitely do better when I'm at 10 or 12%. When I hit that 700 deadlift first of the year or whatever with no belt on a few months ago, I was about 275, 280 then. It puts me around 12% body fat. When I'm down like I am right now in the 255 range or something, I'm definitely 7 or 8% body fat, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm a little stronger with more fat on, to be honest with you. I really am. Can you go over JM Press form really quick? Yeah. Here's the whole key, the whole secret to the JM Press, guys. See if I can get in here. Is the bar is straight down. I see a lot of guys bringing the bar down up here and pushing it back up more like a skull crusher. Start hands about that far apart is where I like mine. Pinky's probably a couple inches inside the rings on standard bar. And bring the bar straight down. See how it's not wavering? I'm coming straight down to about my chin and going straight back up. And try and keep those elbows fairly high at the bottom. I see a lot of guys dipping their elbows down and almost pressing their weight up. Try and keep those elbows. Nothing really moves except the forearm when you come down. The shoulders rotate down slightly. But just make sure that bar is a straight path and try and keep them elbows up fairly high down at the bottom and then straight back up. And I'll tell you what, if you do it like that, guys, it will smoke your daggone triceps big time. Big time. TK, what's the heaviest you've worked with in trains this cycle? What other tricep builders do you like? And well, someone posted those tape presses, and I'd forgotten about those skull crushers. I like doing a lot of band work, just against the bands, just hook them in the top of the power rack. Dips work very well for tricep stuff. I love a push press too, because you can, because obviously using your legs and stuff helps you get the weight up off the floor. And you say you have to use your more triceps on the lockout. So I love a push press as well. Reverse grip benching works very well in the Smith machine or just on a regular barbell. Closed grip benching, declines with a closed grip, that type of stuff really smokes the triceps. Question. No, Jeff McVicker's like 5'7", so time to bulk up to super heavyweights, BJ. Yep, that's what I've been told so many times. Hell yeah, I would do it if it was that tall. I hit 220 kilograms Tuesday, which is a gym PR. Felt easier than when I got it at my last meet. 224, 40, 484. It's a nice pull for a few weeks after my meet, dog. Stuff. Let me start the show over one more time for you. That being said, I'm available for online training. The link's at the bottom of the page, John Pender's training services. Come on, be with us. All right, with that being said, we're just talking today. Talking about Tristan's competing, talking about Matt's bench press, talking about he's too skinny to hit a big bench. His shoulders are, so yeah. Yeah, that's something else we talked about too, guys. The body fat percentage we're